Content warning. This episode contains some intense themes and unsettling imagery. Viewer discretion is advised.
There's a saying among scientists that nature, in all its brilliance, abhors a vacuum. That life will fill any void it can, adapt, evolve, and persist beyond expectation. But what happens when life is created where it shouldn't be? What happens when the very walls around us are not just shelter, but something more, something alive, something hungry? Welcome to the Clockwork Exploratorium, a vessel unbound by time or space, a wanderer between fractured realities. Here, every destination is a question, every arrival a confrontation with the unknown. Some worlds offer answers, some worlds challenge reason, and some should never have been seen at all. Not every creation is content to be what it was made for. Some grow, some change, some hunger.
A deep, echoing hum reverberates as the vast expanse of the void stretches beyond the ship's glass, stars scattered like whispers of ancient tales. The ship drifts through this cosmic sea, a silent observer to the countless realities it passes, its purpose to explore, to understand, to bear witness. Did you ever think we'd see a time where buildings could heal themselves? It sounds like science fiction, or wishful thinking.
Not wishful thinking. Reality. Engineered living materials glitch. We're already on the cusp. Self-healing concrete, microbial coatings, tiny ecosystems designed to repair structures before they even crack.
Microbial coatings? Like bacteria?
Exactly. Bacteria embedded in concrete, dormant until exposed to moisture. Then they feed on calcium lactate and produce limestone, sealing the cracks. It's not just a patch, it's regeneration.
And people are just okay with that? Living bacteria inside their walls?
Why not? We've lived alongside bacteria for millennia. Our own microbiomes are teeming with life. What's a little more, especially when it keeps the roof from caving in?
Fair point. But self-healing is one thing. Adaptive architecture is another.
Now we're getting to the fun part. Adaptive architecture. Buildings that don't just repair, but evolve. Structures that sense environmental changes and shift accordingly. Think of it. Walls that expand in heat, contract in cold. Floors that absorb impact, redirecting kinetic energy.
And how exactly does a wall sense anything?
Biosensors. Genetic circuits embedded within the material, programmed to react to stimuli. Moisture, temperature, pressure, even sound. Just like how our nerves respond to touch.
So, you're talking about buildings with nervous systems. Great. What happens when they get a little too intelligent for their own good?
Oh, they're not conscious, just reactive. Like plants growing towards sunlight, simple stimuli response mechanisms.
Yeah, that's what they said about AI once too.
Imagine the possibilities though. Cities that adapt to population density, expanding walkways during rush hour, contracting during quiet nights. Skyscrapers that adjust their height based on wind resistance. Homes that reshape rooms for optimal sunlight. Urban ecosystems that grow and thrive like living organisms.
You're romanticizing it. This is still synthetic biology we're talking about. Genetic manipulation, designed environments. When do we cross the line from building cities to growing them?
Maybe that's the future. Evolution by design. Instead of nature taking millions of years, we curate it in a lab. Civilization shaped by our own hands.
And who decides how it's shaped? Who controls the genetic code? Who stops someone from turning a city into, well, something it shouldn't be?
That's the danger of playing God, isn't it? When you build life, you take responsibility for it, and for whatever it becomes.
Entering lower atmosphere. Landing sequence initiated. Anomalous biosignatures detected. Please prepare for descent.
A controlled descent. The ship settles on the edge of a vast metropolis, its landing struts pressing into smooth, dark pavement. From above, the city appears untouched. Silent rows of towers stretching into the gloom, dim neon flickering on their surfaces like the dying remnants of a lost civilization. The streets are intact. No rubble, no collapsed structures, no movement. A place abandoned, yet perfectly preserved.
Spatial analysis. Urban layout exhibits symmetrical grid patterns, consistent with advanced planning. Infrastructure integrity, exceptional. No visible erosion, decay, or degradation. Surface reflectivity is anomalously high, indicative of a self-cleaning mechanism or an adaptive coating.
Surface scan. Normal infrastructure. No visible decay. No signs of war or disaster. And yet it's empty.
Dead cities don't usually look this pristine. There's always something, nature creeping in, wind, erosion. But this looks maintained, pristine even.
Which again is unsettling.
Noted. For scientific curiosity, though.
You're not transmitting your observations.
What?
To the ship. You're not transmitting.
Why would I need to? I'm right here.
Your name is Narrator.
I don't need to narrate. That's a stereotype.
Confirming, crew designation is Narrator.
Traitor.
Life signs, organic, structural composition, anomalous overlap, unable to classify readings. Please advise.
Understood. Keep scanning at intervals. We'll investigate manually.
It's not ruined. No rubble, no scorch marks, nothing suggesting a disaster. Street lamps still have power, but if people were simply gone, I'd expect at least some trace of life. Trash, personal effect, something.
True. A mass evacuation usually leaves evidence. Here, it's as though they vanished mid-step, yet the city remains untouched.
Scanning. Partial life sign match in building materials. Living composite detected non-bacterial biotic matrix. Composition. Unknown. Re-verifying database.
Life sign match non-bacterial? In the architecture. That can't be right.
The ship could be picking up residue from those experiments, or perhaps some parasitic growth. Could explain why the sensors are flagging biosignatures. I've heard of Xenobots, living machines built from repurposed cells, but entire buildings using that tech. Sounds improbable, or ethically reckless. Something is still functioning here, something is still watching. Let's assume it's a large-scale bioengineering experiment gone dormant. The question is, why the structures remain powered? If the city was abandoned, who's maintaining the grid?
I'm not sure. There's no sign of generators humming, no substation meltdown. Everything's just on and empty.
Could be something mechanical on an automated cycle, a failing system at the city's core.
Or someone or something making that noise. But if there's life here, it isn't showing itself. We take a few steps forward. The narrator lifts his flashlight, sweeping it across a storefront. The windows are intact, but the darkness inside is impenetrable, as though layered with something beyond just a lack of light.
Surface observation suggests normal structural integrity. Interior scans remain inconclusive. The presence of residual biosignatures might be an anomaly, or traces of advanced biotech integrated into the design. We'll keep searching for clues.
Acknowledging. We'll continue passive monitoring. Caution advised.
So, we're really doing this, huh? Walking into a city that, according to our scans, might be alive.
Alive is a strong word. Let's call it biologically integrated infrastructure. Scientists on Earth are already working on something similar: self-healing concrete, microbial coatings. Researchers at the University of Colorado actually developed a form of living concrete made with bacteria that repairs itself.
Right, and NASA's testing bacteria-infused coatings for spaceships. But let's be real, there's a massive difference between fixing a crack in the wall and a city that thinks for itself.
Think about it this way. If a city can repair itself, adjust its shape, and evolve, then isn't that life? We design synthetic biology to behave like organic systems. At what point does the imitation become the real thing?
Yeah, but biology has limits. A tree doesn't rearrange itself to get better sunlight overnight. But this place, it's adapting, like it's optimizing itself.
You sound like you've been reading about the Anthropocene. The idea that human impact on Earth is shaping a new evolutionary period. We've already replaced natural selection with design. If cities grow like organisms, what's stopping them from evolving without us?
Exactly. We designed cities to serve us. What happens if they decide they don't need us anymore? All of this is just unsettling. This doesn't feel like ordinary concrete, almost like it's retaining body heat, but that's nonsense, right?
I can't rule it out yet, not until we gather more data. There's a lot we don't understand about new materials used in off-world or cutting-edge colonies. It could be harmless.
Harmless doesn't usually get described by wet, shuffling noises. Okay, so what if I told you cities were already learning?
I'd say that's an overstatement.
Really? Because MIT is literally developing emotionally responsive cities. Buildings that detect stress levels and adjust lighting and air quality to keep people calm.
That's not consciousness. That's pattern recognition, just like AI. It's no different from how smart buildings adjust energy use based on human movement.
Yeah, but where does pattern recognition become something more? Neural networks learn through feedback loops. Cities already react to us. What happens when they anticipate us?
That's the panpsychism argument. The idea that everything, even objects, have some form of consciousness. But intelligence isn't just response, it's self-awareness.
So if the city starts making decisions beyond what it was programmed for, then what? Do we call it alive or do we call it a problem?
Structural inconsistencies detected. Localized heat fluctuations detected at ground level.
Localized heat could be residual energy stored in the infrastructure, maybe thermal retention built into the materials. But what would require that level of efficiency if no one's here?
It wouldn't be impossible. There's precedent for biomimetic insulation, materials that can trap heat and redistribute it. Think of how termite mounds regulate temperature. It's an intelligent, passive system. But for an entire city to sustain it? That implies either ongoing activity or a level of design that surpasses necessity. That light, the flickers too uniform. It's not decay, it's pulsing in a pattern, almost like... Did you hear that?
I felt it.
Motion detected in southwestern quadrant. Tracking lost.
Investigating movement anomaly. So far, evidence suggests no residual decay in environment. But something is still here, something is still active. That shape just changed, right?
Could be adaptive materials responding to environmental stimuli, or
the wall just moved.
You know, if this city were designed for self-repair, it would make sense for the materials to have an active response. Living concrete, perhaps. Engineered colonies of microbacteria secreting mineral deposits, constantly regenerating. We've seen experiments with structures that adapt to stress, buildings that heal themselves after damage.
Right, it's watching us. Feel that? I certainly did.
Yes.
Even that shop is intact. Not even a cracked window. No dust. It's like this place was cleaned yesterday.
No cracks, no wear. It's been nurtured, almost grown. Streets and stores don't usually get nurtured. Self-healing architecture. Advanced biocomposites that can repair damage. But on this scale, it would require complex biosynthetic networks. Almost like a living organism.
That's a comforting thought. So we're walking on something alive?
Not necessarily. It could just be self-repairing. But if it is conscious, then we're walking through its body.
Motion detected in the southwestern quadrant. Very brief. Lost tracking.
Well, that's an invitation if I've ever heard one.
You say that like it's a good thing. Wait, I just heard something.
Heard what now? It's coming from the ground.
Unusual auditory phenomenon. Organic resonance. Could be atmospheric distortion, but it feels more deliberate.
Theoretical analysis. Micro-movements could indicate integrated sensor networks or cellular structures beneath the surface. Possible function: environmental monitoring, dynamic camouflage, or organic observation.
Visual update. We're moving down the main boulevard. Structures are pristine. No dust, no cracks, no signs of decay. Not even a single piece of debris. It's too perfect. Unnaturally perfect. There's a... It's subtle. Vibrating through the ground. Almost like the city's breathing. It's humid too. Air's thick, heavy. And there's this faint smell, metallic. Almost like blood, but Sterile. Synthetic, maybe? I've been in abandoned places before. Ruins, ghost cities. But this is different. It's not just the silence. It feels expectant. Like we're not alone. Like we're being watched.
These buildings, look at the windows. They're too clean. Not a single smudge. The reflections look odd too.
Surface is reflective, not normal glass. Composition, unknown. Possibly high-end maintenance systems or adaptive self-cleaning technology.
Adaptive materials would explain the cleanliness, but the reflections, they're too sharp, too responsive.
What about surveillance? What if this city is still active? What if it's observing us?
Visual feedback anomaly detected. Reflection latency noted at 0.34 seconds. Recalibrating.
Reflection latency? What are you talking about?
Observed reflection does not synchronize with subject movement. Data inconsistency. Analyzing. Cause unknown.
Reflection latency? That's impossible. Light travels at a constant speed. Reflections don't lag.
Unless there's a malfunction in the glass. Maybe it's some kind of augmented display that's not processing our movement in real time.
An augmented display wouldn't reflect us at all. It would overlay digital information. But this is mirroring us perfectly. That was wrong. My reflection's eyes, they moved after mine. Just a split second, but...
Latency persists. Synchronization variance detected at 0.42 seconds. Adjusting calibration. No error in sensor array. Anomaly confirmed.
Reflective surfaces don't lag unless they're not reflecting light in real time. If they're absorbing light first, then re-emitting it.
Like an adaptive biofilm? Absorbing light data, processing it, then projecting it back. It would explain the delay. But why would a city need reflective surfaces that think?
It wouldn't, unless it's not just reflecting. It's observing.
Observing us?
Reflection latency now at 0.56 seconds. Pattern detected. Latency increases in proximity to subjects.
Repeat that. It's reacting to us?
Affirmative. Latency increases when subjects approach reflective surfaces. Pattern suggests adaptive response.
Adaptive response? Like it's watching us get closer?
Perfect. I always wanted to be the center of attention in a city that learns.
Anomalous movement detected. Coordinates: southwestern quadrant. Duration: 0.47 seconds. Tracking lost.
Southwest. That's ahead of us. Something's here, and it's moving.
Update. Possible active entity. No visual confirmation. Movement brief. Almost as if it was hiding.
It knows we're here.
Wonderful. Nothing like being the main attraction. We stop at an intersection, our flashlights sweeping the deserted streets, finding nothing but sterile perfection. Yet the feeling of being watched remains, tightening around us like a vice.
Whatever's here, it's waiting. It's patient.
Continuing investigation. Caution advised. The city is still but aware. The walls are shifting, narrator. The buildings are leaning inward. You still want to tell me this is just an adaptive structure?
Adaptive? Yes. Sentient? No.
Explain that then. You ever seen a skyscraper flinch?
We've seen Xenobots, living robots made from frog cells. They can self-heal and even remember damage. That's not thought. That's programmed response.
Tufts University made Xenobots, yeah, but they also found unexpected behavior. Cells that restructured on their own without being told to.
It's just emergent behavior. Small systems interacting in ways we didn't predict. That's how intelligence starts, Glitch. Enough complexity, and suddenly, something is thinking.
You just admitted that intelligence emerges from complexity. So how do we know this city isn't already there? Our flashlights carve narrow paths of light through the darkness. The city looms around us, perfectly intact, eerily pristine, and unnervingly silent. Our footsteps echo with a faint, damp resonance, as if absorbed by the ground. Surface composition: inconsistent. Initial analysis indicates standard synthetic pavement, but there's an underlayer. Organic traces detected. Temperature slightly elevated.
It's too smooth. No imperfections, no debris. And yet, it feels soft, like there's resistance underneath.
It's moving. The ground. It's reacting.
Elastic surface tension could be advanced nanomaterials. Self-healing polymers, perhaps. A self-repairing infrastructure adjusting to pressure. 2 layers, synthetic on top, but below an organic mass. Biomolecular composition, inconsistent. It's changing.
Self-repairing infrastructure doesn't breathe, narrator.
It's not breathing. It's just reacting to pressure. Intelligent materials can mimic biological behaviors. It's a simulation, an artificial response, nothing more.
If it's just a simulation, why does it feel warm? The architecture begins to subtly distort, angles bending imperceptibly, curves appearing where there should be straight lines.
The geometry, it's wrong. I've seen optical illusions, architectural tricks, but this, it's like the structures are shifting.
Structural inconsistency detected. Angles defying Euclidean space. Surfaces warping in real time.
Spatial distortion, a holographic projection, or advanced architectural morphing, variable geometry, like metamaterials, could be a defense mechanism, an illusion designed to disorient intruders.
An illusion that bends space itself? It's coming from below. A resonance, like an organic pulse.
Could be seismic activity, or a subterranean power grid, pulsating electromagnetic fields, or geothermal fluctuations.
Vibrational anomaly. Resonant frequency increasing. It's affecting the architecture, drawing it inward, as if the city is converging.
Converging, or closing in.
Look over there, that piece of cloth, it's out of place. It's torn, ripped almost, shredded. Someone was here. Someone tried to leave.
Organic residue, high protein content, blood, human, but partially degraded.
He leans closer, his flashlight beam narrowing on a dark, congealed fluid pooling near the drain. It's thick, viscous, almost alive.
This isn't runoff. It's feeding. It's absorbing organic matter.
So the city consumes. It's processing biological material, but for what purpose?
Biorecycling. Advanced biotechnology. If this is an ELM-based system, then it's sustaining itself. It's harvesting. It's feeding. The city is feeding.
Help! Please, help me!
Did we just watch a man get sidewalked?
The concrete, it absorbed him, like an ELM responding to damage. It's breaking him down, processing him.
Processing him into what?
Biomass.
The ground subtly shifts, a soft bulge rising in the pavement, almost imperceptible. The contours change. A brow line, a nose, parted lips. A human face, half submerged in the pavement, frozen in a silent scream.
Holy shh.
Visual anomaly. Surface deformation. Humanoid features detected. It's a face. Is it alive?
Biometrics. Human DNA. Embedded in the foundation. They're part of the structure? No, it can't be.
It's still alive. It's conscious. It's suffering.
It's not just consuming them. It's integrating them. They're becoming the city. Ahem. Okay, it has to be an illusion, an echo. Just light bending, bad shrooms, some sort of wild drug trip. Nothing more.
Drug trip. Really? That wasn't an echo.
It sounded like someone pleading. I think I'm going to be sick. Is this normal?
Now's not the time for self-discovery, narrator. Audio anomaly, humanoid vocalization, unidentified source. It's coming from the structures.
Wait, it's not an echo, it's a memory.
A memory trapped in the walls. Then this city isn't just watching us. It's remembering them.
It's preserving them. They're still here. Echoes of the people it consumed.
It's feeding on them, absorbing their memories, their very essence. It's more than a predator. It's consuming their existence. It's preserving them as part of itself. You know what this reminds me of? CRISPR?
Gene editing? I mean, sure, if you squint, but that's not the same thing as this.
Isn't it? Scientists already rewrote the human genome. A Chinese researcher modified embryos in 2018, and the world freaked out. Why? Because once you edit life itself, you can't undo it.
That was different. This city isn't using CRISPR. It's more like an autonomous biological process.
Biosphere 2? Ever heard of it?
The failed artificial ecosystem. Yeah.
It failed because we couldn't predict how a sealed environment would evolve. Imagine that on a citywide scale. The deep, resonant hum of the city grows stronger. The walls of the structures seem less rigid, subtly shifting, reacting to our presence. The underground passage ahead beckons, its organic cables pulsing faintly like veins in the dark.
Structural inconsistencies increasing. Subterranean network detected. Composition unstable.
We're heading underground. Entry point secured. Biotic growth, less aggressive here. Still present, but controlled.
It's restrained, like it's waiting. No rampant spread, no chaotic overgrowth. This is regulated, engineered.
Labs intact. Equipment scattered, some systems still running. Whoever was here, they left in a hurry.
More than left. They were monitoring something. Growth rates, neural pathways, cellular cohesion. This wasn't just research. This was control.
Who the hell are you?
Non-hostile. Human presence detected. Identity unconfirmed.
We're explorers. The ship picked up anomalous signals.
You should have ignored them.
You're a scientist, part of this project.
I was. Before the architect, Morel took it too far.
Morel? The architect?
That's what he called himself. Visionary, pioneer, genius. He thought he was building the future.
He built a nightmare. At least George Romero would be proud.
He didn't start that way. We wanted to revolutionize infrastructure. Living materials that could repair themselves, adapt, sustain entire cities. No waste, no decay, just a seamless fusion of life and function.
Engineered living materials on a citywide scale. This should have been impossible.
It should have been, but we perfected it. Then, he found a way to push it further.
The people...
The city needed more than microbes to sustain itself. Morel saw an opportunity. What if the people were part of the system?
We need to stop it. But how? What even is it at this point?
If it's integrated into the substrate, we'd need to disrupt the biological cohesion at a fundamental level. Target the neural pathways that control the assimilation.
Yes, like a genetic kill switch. A CRISPR-based countersequence, something that would force the cellular structures to revert to their inert state.
Or a chemical inhibitor, something that disrupts the synaptic relay between the bio-integrated pathways, like shutting down neurotransmitters in a brain, cut off the signals, and the body stops functioning.
And what if it's too advanced for that? What if there's no off switch?
Then we destroy it.
Then we take out the core, the heart of this system.
We're talking about collapsing an entire city, killing whatever consciousness is left inside it.
It's not alive in the way we understand. It's a system, a network of connected tissue. Biological, yes, but it doesn't think.
I felt it, narrator.
You didn't feel anything, Glitch. You're assigning meaning to an automated response. We've seen bio-integrated architecture before. It mimics life, but it isn't.
Then what was that whisper? the faces in the pavement, the reflection that watched you back.
Echoes. Residual memory imprints. A byproduct of the assimilation process, but not thought, not will.
You don't know that. You can't know that.
I can interpret this. Cellular sequencing, protein chain reactions, adaptive response mechanisms. I can understand the science glitch. I can measure it, quantify it. I can rationalize this.
And what if this isn't something you can just logic your way out of? What if science isn't enough this time?
Then what do you want me to do, glitch? Feel my way through this? Do you want me to just accept that this thing is alive and suffering?
Yes, I do.
I can't. I don't do loss glitch. I process variables, probabilities, outcomes, not people, not ghosts.
You think that if you rationalize it, if you make it numbers and probabilities, it won't hurt, but it does, doesn't it?
If I stop to feel it, it'll consume me. I'll get lost in it. The sheer horror of it. You don't get it, glitch. I was never built for this. It's too much.
Perfection, isn't it? I must commend you for making it this far. Most tend to resist the city's embrace. You've traveled so far, seen so much, and yet you still don't understand what you're standing in the presence of.
A narcissistic madman?
Oh, my dear, you wound me. But no, I am simply a man unburdened by limitations, a man who dared to build something beyond steel and stone.
A city that eats its inhabitants. That's your grand achievement.
A city that lives, that thrives. Tell me, have you ever considered how wasteful civilization is? The decay, the obsolescence, entire empires crumble under the weight of their own inefficiency. But here, no one is lost, no resource is left untapped. The city evolves because it understands what it needs.
You were supposed to build something better, Morel. You promised a future where cities could sustain life, not consume it.
Semantics, Cora. The city does sustain life in the purest way possible.
By digesting it?
By integrating it. Come, let me show you what true progress looks like.
Structural integrity. Shifting. Walls contain cellular structures, binding fibers, vascular-like networks. This is advanced, beyond any known ELMs.
This isn't just adaptive architecture, it's a full biological ecosystem, a living organism built on a citywide scale.
Ah, finally, you're beginning to see the beauty of it. This was my first attempt at large-scale bio-integration, inspired, in part, by the Xenobot trials of the 21st century. Self-replicating biological machines, programmed cellular structures. Why limit such wonders to mere petri dishes?
Xenobots. Early experiments used modified Xenopus laevis frog cells to create programmable biological machines. But they had severe limitations, short lifespans.
Precisely. But I solved those limitations. I gave them purpose.
Morel keeps talking about optimization, but I've heard this argument before.
Let me guess, the paperclip maximizer?
Bingo! An AI designed to make paperclips that eventually turns all matter in the universe into paperclips.
Because it can't see the bigger picture, it just follows its programming.
And Morel programmed the city to be efficient. So now it's recycling people.
He removed uncertainty, and that's the danger of scientific utopianism. The moment you decide what's best for everyone, you stop seeing them as people.
Morel gestures to a nearby console, activating a monitor displaying time-lapse footage of an early prototype. A slab of engineered flesh, its cells reconfiguring in response to damage. At first, it regenerates smoothly. Then, it begins to branch outward, sprouting malformed tendrils. Within hours, it consumes an entire petri dish.
That's not regeneration. That's uncontrolled mitosis. You engineered cancer. And you kept going. But it didn't stop there, did it?
A crude term, but yes, the growth was excessive at first. Traditional CRISPR methods proved insufficient. Gene drives helped correct for stability, but the tissue developed a form of competitive selection.
It started competing with itself, out-evolving its own parameters. It's not just self-repairing, it's adaptive replication. That's why it's spread across the city.
He turns to another display, this one showing a cluster of neural-like fibers intertwining with a mechanical substrate.
I realized that simple bio-repair wasn't enough. For true synergy, the city had to process its surroundings. It had to learn.
Neuronal lattice structures, enhanced glial pathways. You forced neural growth into the infrastructure.
It was remarkable, a breakthrough. Synthetic neurons formed rudimentary decision-making matrices. At first, simple reactions, light, temperature, pressure. But then it began responding to biological input.
The monitor flickers to a grainy test recording. A lab assistant reaches toward a section of living material. It withdraws before he touches it. Then slowly, it extends back, curling toward him like a seeking tendril. It's aware.
Not aware, responsive. The same way our skin reacts to touch. The way muscles twitch before conscious thought registers it.
But it didn't stop there, did it?
No, it did not. Before you see the final wonder, let me show you one last breakthrough. A true marvel of synthetic biology.
He moves to a control panel, activating a low-power sequence. The glass of the pods turns transparent, revealing humanoid figures suspended in viscous fluid. Their skin is translucent, their veins forming an intricate web of glowing pathways. They twitch, some in slow, sluggish movements, others in violent spasms.
This isn't natural. These bodies, they aren't human anymore. The cellular structures are all wrong.
Oh my God. The nerve clusters. They're linked. They aren't individuals.
They're alive?
More than alive. They are part of the city, early prototypes, conscious extensions of its will. The network was crude back then, of course. Some of them, well, they never quite adapted.
One of the figures twitches violently, eyes snapping open. For a brief moment, its mouth moves, but no sound escapes. The skin on its face stretches, distorting as if trying to shape words that will never come. Then, the fluid in the pod thickens, darkening like clotted blood. The body stiffens, absorbed into the containment unit.
You turned them into organic conduits, not people, just living circuits.
A crude way to describe it, but yes, each one contributed to the greater system. The city required more than passive material. It needed neural architecture. And what better foundation than those who resisted its progress? But failures pave the way for perfection. Come now, let me show you what the city has become.
Dr. Morell approaches a sealed doorway, the surface subtly pulsating, as if breathing. With a touch, it parts, revealing the monument, his own likeness, a towering statue grown from the same living material as the city. It's not sculpted, it's grown.
A monument to himself.
I was really hoping for a golden ticket, but instead, I think we just won a lifetime supply of nightmare fuel.
Not just a monument, a legacy. The city will outlast us all. It will remember us. Our thoughts, our essence, woven into its foundation. Observe. A city that does not decay. A system that does not fail. With but a thought, I command the flow of its energy, its growth, its very breath.
You're controlling it through the neural network, a closed-loop biofeedback system. It's not intelligence, it's just conditioned response.
Oh, my dear traveler, is intelligence not just response? Conditioned patterns. We shape a mind through experiences, refine it through learning. This city learns, it adapts, it remembers.
And what if it decides to remember differently? What if it doesn't need you anymore?
It needs guidance, yes, as all societies do. And I have given it purpose. No more wasteful destruction, no more hollow ruins. The dead do not rot. They become the very streets we walk upon, the walls that shelter us.
Easy there, Masayoshi Shido. You're steering this ship straight into the world's most horrific urban renewal project.
You speak as though you've transcended death, but you've merely delayed it. This isn't harmony, Morell. It's assimilation. There's no choice here, no will, just consumption.
You call it consumption. I call it unity. No bodies lost to war, no minds forgotten. Everyone who ever lived here remains. The city holds them all, eternal, useful, part of something greater than themselves.
So you're God now? Deciding what useful means?
God? No, my dear. I am merely an architect who saw beyond stone and steel, who saw the future.
You built something you could never control, and now it's too late. It's thinking for itself.
We won't simply leave behind ruins. We will become the city.
And what if we don't want to be part of your masterpiece?
Oh, but you will in time. Resistance is always the first step in evolution, and evolution is inevitable. Expand the conduits, reconfigure the pathways, compensate for energy shift. I said reconfigure pathways, acknowledge directive.
It's not listening.
Ah, you misunderstand. Sometimes the system takes a moment to process. It is vast after all. Override manual directives, reset integration feedback loop, confirm control.
Step back, now.
Something's happening.
Morel, are you controlling this or is it reacting on its own?
Ah, my dear, it listens to me. It obeys because I... No, it is merely adjusting. The network. It...
Glitch, Cora, move, now!
I am the city. What? No!
Wait, is it rejecting him?
It's taking him back.
No! I command you! No!
He's still in there. He's aware.
Well, that was fitting. What an asshole.
A conscious mind forever trapped. No death, no rest, just existence.
That's the real nightmare, isn't it? Not death, not destruction, but being trapped, imprisoned for eternity.
Query. Initiate planetary bombardment. Options include plasma rifle barrage, railgun strafe, quantum disruptor deployment, atomic banana drop, infinite folded noodle cannon salvo, antimatter chainsaw orbital strike.
Antimatter chainsaw orbital strike.
Shh. Narrator, not the time.
Glitch. If you destroy it, he...
No, let him stay. Let him spend eternity reflecting on his sins, unable to atone, unable to let go.
There has to be a way. Maybe if we isolate the biofeedback loops, override the assimilation, there has to be...
You're trying to save them.
I don't do loss, Glitch. I process variables, probabilities, outcomes, not this, not people, not ghosts.
We can't save them, but we can stop it from spreading. This isn't your burden to carry, it's ours. This is our world, our people, our responsibility, not yours. You've done enough. If you make this decision, you'll carry it with you forever, and you don't have to. Let us bear this loss. Let our people decide what happens next.
I hate it, but she's right.
I have a final question for you, Glitch.
What is it?
Are all biologists,
What are you getting at?
monotone? Are all biologists monotone? I swear Cora's lack of enthusiasm was giving me vertigo.
I still don't get it. Morel wasn't wrong about the science. Not entirely. ELMs, adaptive infrastructure, biological sustainability, it all makes sense. So where did it go so wrong?
Intent, Glitch. Science doesn't betray people. People do.
You always believe science will save us. But science built this place. Science made Morel.
Science didn't do this. He did.
So what stops us from doing the same? That's what I thought.
Hubris. The idea that knowledge alone justifies action. We've seen this before. Genetic engineering, AI development, even early human agriculture. Every time we manipulate nature, we walk the line between progress and self-destruction.
Sounds like you're quoting someone.
Mary Shelley, you seek for knowledge and wisdom as I once did, and I ardently hope that the gratification of your wishes may not be a serpent to sting you as mine has been. From Frankenstein.
Morel wasn't some tragic romantic, though. He knew what he was doing. Maybe he was closer to B.F. Skinner. Radical behaviorism, control through conditioning. He believed people would adapt, that he was shaping them into something better.
And in the end, they weren't people to him. They were components, materials. Karl Popper warned about that. Scientific utopianism. The moment you design a system that forces people to be better for the greater good, you stop seeing them as individuals. The road to tyranny is paved with people who thought they were saving the world.
So it wasn't just about the science, it was about control.
Morel built something that couldn't question him. He designed a world where his decisions were final, where no one could resist. He eliminated uncertainty, autonomy, the very things that make humanity human.
You think we could ever become like that?
Like Morel.
Like them. The ones who didn't resist, who just let it happen.
I don't think you'd ever let that happen, and I know I wouldn't.
Well, that's a terrifying thought. You actually trust me.
Statistically, I probably shouldn't.
You know, for someone called narrator, you're terrible at transmitting. You used to be so on top of things as a construct.
And yet somehow, you never shut up. Which isn't a change from when you were a construct.
Ship's registry, update crew records. Narrator is now, Curator.
Oh, you're insufferable. Fine, then I'm updating your record. You're now Echo.
Huh, I like it.
Because you never shut up. Curator, a collector of knowledge, a keeper of history. Fitting, I suppose.
Yeah, that's you. Not just some machine rattling off data anymore. You collect stories, you preserve them, you care about them.
I also care about pizza, however. A curator preserves knowledge, catalogues history. It's what I do, what I did even before I became human. It's not just observing anymore, it's remembering.
Then I guess Echo fits too.
Oh,
I used to process information, translate it, send it back out. But now I feel it. I react to it. Sometimes too much, sometimes not enough, but I can't just repeat anymore. I have to decide what stays. I have to carry it.
Echo it is then.
Don't sound too sentimental about it. I might think you actually like me.
I tolerate you.
I love you too.
As are you, Glitch. I love you too, Glitch.
Echo.
This is going to take some getting used to.
What are your thoughts on a sentient city? Would you live in one? Let us know in the comments below. Hey travellers! We know it's been a while between episodes and well, you probably thought we got stuck in some multiverse loop or something.
Time is a relative concept. Besides, crafting these stories isn't exactly a walk through a parallel dimension.
Translation. It's just one person doing everything. Writing, researching, designing, editing, even creating the visuals and audio. And yeah, the AI helps, but that doesn't mean it's quick.
Precision takes time. When you're blending science, philosophy, storytelling, and visuals, it's a meticulous process.
But we know you're patient. We're just making sure each episode feels right. Immersive, thoughtful, and worth your time.
Your support makes it all worth it. So thank you for sticking with us. You're the reason we keep exploring.
Keep traveling with us. We're not just telling stories. We're unraveling the universe one episode at a time.
Indeed. And we'll always strive to make each journey unforgettable. So, if you like what we're doing, make sure to subscribe, like, and share. It helps us keep moving forward.
And maybe next time, we won't take a detour through a city that eats people.
No promises. Reality's unpredictable.
See you next time, travellers.